She was texting you every day, engaged, present, connected. Then one day nothing, radio silence. You check your phone, message delivered, not blocked, just ignored. And you're wondering, what did I do wrong? The answer might surprise you. Absolutely nothing. Let me explain why Gemini women ghost and why it has nothing to do with you. Welcome back to Divine Gemini Psychology. We've covered her inner monologue and her secret vulnerability. Now we're tackling the behavior that confuses people most, the Gemini ghost. This isn't about breadcrumbing or playing games. This is about a specific psychological pattern where her brain goes into what I call emergency shutdown mode. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 5 types of Gemini ghosting. Yes, there are different kinds. What triggers each one? What's actually happening in her mind, whether she's coming back, and what to do or not do when it happens. If you're a Gemini woman, this might explain patterns you didn't even realize you had. And if you've been ghosted by one, this will finally make sense. Let's decode the disappearing act. First, let's talk about the 5 types of Gemini ghosting. Type 1 is the processor ghost. The duration for this is usually a few hours to about 3 days. The trigger is emotional overwhelm or information overload. This isn't a personal kind of ghosting. This is system maintenance. Something happened that requires her full cognitive capacity to process. It could be a deep conversation that triggered something. Too many stimuli at once causing social exhaustion. A decision she needs to make, or an emotion she needs to understand. What's happening in her mind is something like, I can't respond right now because I don't know what I think yet, and I won't communicate until I do. Her brain is literally running simulations, cross-referencing data, and analyzing outcomes. She's not ignoring you, she's computing. The telltale sign is that she'll usually give context before vanishing, saying something like, I need to think about this, or she return with a fully formed response. This one comes back, always. Type 2 is the boundary ghost. This can last from days to weeks, and the trigger is a boundary violation, even a subtle one. You crossed a line. Maybe you pushed when she said she needed space, made a joke about something vulnerable she shared, dismissed her feelings as overthinking, or demanded explanations she wasn't ready to give. What's happening in her mind is, this person isn't safe. Distance equals protection. She's not punishing you, she's protecting herself. The ghost is the boundary you forced her to enforce. The tell is that there was a subtle shift right before the disappearance. A test you failed. A moment where her energy changed. This one might come back, but the trust damage is already done. You'll never get the full access you had before. Type 3 is the Overwhelm ghost, which can last for weeks to months. The trigger is life chaos or multiple stressors. This isn't about you at all. Her entire life is on fire and she's in survival mode. It could be a work crisis, family drama, a mental health struggle, or just too many obligations. What's happening in her mind is, I can barely manage myself right now. I have nothing left to give. She's not ghosting you specifically. She's ghosting everyone except the bare minimum required for survival. The tell is that you'll notice she's also gone quiet on social media, with other friends, and in group chats. It's across the board. This one comes back when she resurfaces from the chaos. But she won't explain where she went, because to her, it's obvious she was drowning. Type 4 is the detachment ghost. The duration for this can be months to permanent, and the trigger is an emotional disconnection or a realization of incompatibility. This is the hardest one to accept. She's emotionally checked out. Something shifted, maybe gradually, maybe suddenly, and she no longer feels the connection. What's happening in her mind is, I've already processed this. I'm done. Now I need to execute the exit. By the time you notice the ghost, she's been gone for weeks internally. The disappearance is just the external manifestation of an internal decision already made. The tell is that her energy was already distant before the ghost. shorter responses, less engagement, just going through the motions. This one doesn't come back. She's already mourned the relationship before ending it. Type 5, the self-protection ghost. This is a tough one. The trigger? She's catching feelings for you, and it terrifies her. Here's the plot twist. She ghosts because she likes you. Too much. And in her mind, feelings equal vulnerability, and vulnerability equals danger. What's happening in her head sounds like this. If I stay, I'll get attached. If I get attached, I can get hurt. I need to exit now while I still can. She's not running from you. She's running from the intimacy you represent. The biggest tell is that things were going really, really well. Then, a sudden disappearance that makes absolutely no logical sense. This one might come back, but only if she works through her fear on her own. It requires internal work that you simply can't do for her. So, why ghosting instead of just talking about it? Here's what people do and understand about Gemini women. Ghosting isn't the easy way out for her. It's the emergency exit. Remember her inner monologue and her high walls from our previous videos? Ghosting is what happens when her internal processing system gets completely overloaded. Her walls aren't enough to protect her, and she desperately needs distance to think clearly. She can't communicate in that moment because she either doesn't know what she's feeling yet, she's protecting herself, she has zero bandwidth left, she's already made a decision, or she's terrified. To her, ghosting temporarily is actually kinder than communicating before she's ready and saying the wrong thing, or staying engaged when she's not present, which feels fake. It's not about you. It's about her fundamental need for mental space just to function. Here's the science part, what I call the cognitive overwhelm theory. Gemini women often have highly active prefrontal cortexes. This is the part of the brain responsible for complex decision-making, emotional regulation, and planning for the future. When this system gets overloaded with too much input, too much emotion, or too much complexity, it triggers what psychologists call a cognitive shutdown. Think of it like a computer with 50 tabs open. Eventually, it freezes. The only solution is to close everything and restart. For her, that means eliminating external stimuli ghosting you. Then, processing internally, all alone. Then, rebooting her system until clarity returns. And finally, re-engaging when she's ready. It's not personal, it's mechanical. The problem is, to you, it feels like rejection. But to her, it feels like necessary maintenance. So she's ghosted. You're stuck in limbo. What is she actually doing while she's gone? Well, if it's type 1, the processor, she's running every possible outcome through her mind. She's simulating conversations, analyzing implications, cross-referencing past experiences, and building complex decision trees. She will eventually emerge with a clear thought or a decision. If it's type 2, the boundary ghost, she's assessing the threat level. She's reviewing the pattern of what happened, deciding if the situation is fixable or fatal, and reinforcing her walls. She'll emerge with either more distance or a conversation about what changed. If it's type 3, the overwhelm ghost, she's literally just surviving. Work, sleep, basic needs. Everyone is on mute. She'll emerge with apologies and explanations if she feels close to you, or just re-engage without even addressing the gap. If it's type 4, the detachment ghost, she's not thinking about you at all. She has already moved on emotionally. The relationship is filed away in her mental archive. She won't emerge. This is the final exit. And if it's type 5, the self-protection ghost, she's battling with herself. Part of her wants to reach out, but the other part is building walls. It's an internal war. She emerges with either vulnerability, if she chooses courage, or permanent distance, if fear wins. Okay, so how do you tell which type of ghost you're dealing with? Ask yourself this. Before the ghosting, was there a specific trigger moment where you might have crossed a line? That points to type 2. Were things escalating emotionally and getting more intimate? That's likely type 5. Was she totally overwhelmed with life stuff, work, or family? That's type 3. Did you just have a really deep, complex conversation? That's type 1. Or was she already pulling away gradually for a while? That's type 4. During the ghosting period, is she still active online and with other people? That suggests type 1, 2, or 5. Is she quiet everywhere? That's probably type 3. Has it been months with zero contact? That's almost certainly type 4. Does she breadcrumb you with occasional tiny messages? That's type 5. She's still interested, but scared. Look at the pattern history. Has she done this before with you and then come back? That's classic type 1 or 3. Is this the first time and totally sudden? Look at type 2 or 5. Did previous ghosting periods get longer each time? That's type 4, a gradual exit. And here's the hard truth. If you can't tell which type it is, it's probably type 4. When someone is still invested, the signs are usually visible somewhere. Now, what to do, and more importantly, what not to do. First, what you absolutely should not do. Do not spam message her. Hey, are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Please talk to me. This just confirms you don't understand her need for space, and it makes everything worse. Don't demand an explanation. You owe me a conversation. Or this is so disrespectful. Entitlement is a surefire way to guarantee she won't come back. Don't get other people involved. Asking her friends what's wrong is an invasion of privacy and a huge boundary violation. It's a fatal mistake, and don't post about it on social media. Vague posting or calling her out publicly will get you an instant, permanent ghost upgrade. Finally, don't assume the worst and spiral. Thinking she's with someone else, or she never cared, makes her ghosting about you, when it's really about her. The more you push during a ghost, the longer it will last. So what do? Let's break it down by type. For the processor and the overwhelmed Gemini, you send one and only one message. Say something like, I notice you've gone quiet. No pressure to respond. Just want you to know I'm here when you're ready. And then, silence. That's it. Let her come back to you. Don't chase. For the boundary type, you need to do some honest reflection. What happened? Did you cross a line? Did you dismiss her feelings or push her too hard? Once you've figured it out, send one accountability message. For example, I've been thinking about our last conversation. I think I pushed too hard, and I understand if you need distance. I'm sorry. Then you wait. The ball is in her court. Now, for the self-protection type, your job is to show consistency without applying any pressure. Send occasional, low-stakes messages. Hey, I saw this and thought of you. Nothing heavy, no expectations. You can also demonstrate safety by saying, I'm not going anywhere, but I respect your pace. Then you have to be patient. She's trying to figure out if you're a safe person to let back in. And for the detachment type, honestly, there's nothing to do. She's made her decision. The best thing you can do is respect it and move on. Chasing her will only confirm that she was right to leave. There are some universal rules here, no matter the type. One message, then silence. No guilt-tripping her. Don't make it about your feelings by saying things like, you're hurting me. And absolutely no ultimatums like, if you don't respond by Friday, we're done. You have to respect the distance. It's giving you information. Okay, Gemini women, let's talk about your side of this. I get it. I really do. Ghosting often feels so much safer than trying to communicate before you're ready. It feels safer than explaining something you're still processing yourself, or being vulnerable when you're not sure it's safe. And it definitely feels safer than dealing with someone's emotional reaction in real time. Sometimes, ghosting is the right move. Your boundaries matter. Your mental health matters. Your need for space is completely valid. But here's something I want you to consider. Look at the pattern. If you find yourself ghosting everyone who starts to get close, that's not protection anymore. That's isolation. And sure, isolation keeps you safe, but it also keeps you alone. There is a middle ground, a communication middle ground. You can simply say, I need some time to process this. I'll reach out when I'm ready. That's it. It takes 7 seconds. It's not a full, draining explanation. It's a boundary with communication. It respects your need for space and their need for clarity. So ask yourself this. Are you ghosting because you genuinely need space? Or are you ghosting because you're afraid of the conversation? If it's fear, that's your wall talking. And walls that are built too high don't just keep out the bad guys. They keep out people who actually deserve to be let in. Here's your challenge. The next time you feel that urge to ghost, just try saying, I need some space right now. Give me a few days. See what happens. You might be surprised. The right people will respect it. And if they don't, well, then you know ghosting was the right call after all. So to wrap this up, the Gemini ghost isn't about cruelty. It's not a game. And most of the time, it's not even about you. It's a psychological defense mechanism. It's born from cognitive overwhelm, boundary protection, survival mode, fear of vulnerability, or simply a decision that's already been made. These 5 types tell you everything. The processor is just computing. She'll likely be back. The boundary crosser means you stepped over a line. She might come back. The overwhelmed one means life is chaotic. She'll come back when things stabilize. The detached one means she's done. She won't be back. And the self-protection one means she's scared. She might come back if she feels brave and safe enough. For everyone who's been ghosted, it is not a reflection of your worth. It's about her processing style. Don't take it personally. But also, don't wait forever. Respect yourself enough to move on if that ghost becomes permanent. And to my Gemini women, your need for space is valid. But please consider if your ghosting pattern is protecting you or imprisoning you. There's a middle ground between over-explaining everything and just disappearing. Practice finding it. Next up in this series, we're talking about when Gemini women go silent, the power of her withdrawal. Because ghosting and strategic silence are 2 very different things. Drop a comment below. Have you been ghosted by a Gemini woman? Or are you the Gemini ghost? Which type are you? Let's talk about it. Subscribe for the next one, and let's keep decoding the Gemini woman together.